We have multiple surprising Toronto Maple Leafs updates ahead of tonight's game against Utah as we got some more clarity from Brad Treliving on Auston Matthews' injury and his return. So to break that down in this episode, as well as discuss a very interesting move that Craig Berube has decided to make ahead of tonight's game. Stay tuned for all that in this episode. But before we get into it, quick reminder, hit that subscribe button. If you're a part of the 71% who aren't subscribed to the channel, this is the place to be for daily Leafs content. So make sure to hit the subscribe button, and a reminder, we will be live tonight following the game, so make sure to stay tuned for the live stream later tonight. But Darius, a lot to go over today. Obviously, we know that Auston Matthews, we got some more clarity on it yesterday, but Brad Treliving actually came out and revealed some more interesting details surrounding his future with, his return, obviously his future with the team as well this season, because things have gotten weird. But let's just dive right into it. A lot to go over. So we'll start with this. So Brad Treliving spoke out on Matthews' injury and the decision to go to Germany. He says it's been bothering him for a while, and with time, it'll get behind him. We looked at the schedule with the lack of games. We felt this was a good opportunity. We decided to take the time now in a time of the schedule where there wasn't a lot of games. As much as it was about getting treatment for the issue he's been dealing with, it was also a chance to do some overall maintenance, rotate the tires, check the brakes, using some weird car analogies here for Auston Matthews, make sure everything's in good shape. This is someone he's worked with before, someone he trusts. He's been there in the past. We have confidence in the process. So he gave some very detailed, I should say, kind of information here about Auston Matthews and his future with the, his return being imminent at this point. We'll dive into some more details because we do have a bit more of a, open return date here. But what are your thoughts on this comment? It's the most detail we've gotten in a while, and it's about what we expected from the team, and we've got to see it now in the form of a return.
Yeah, considering how private this player is in Auston Matthews, I am kind of surprised how much has come out about this. But I do appreciate, and since he's gotten here, say what you want about Brad Treliving as a GM and the moves he makes, but I think he's made the team better, and I really appreciate his transparency. Like, I feel like when he, for the most part, gives updates and stuff like that, and, when he addresses what the team needs, like in the end of season press conferences, he's very transparent, and I feel like he sees exactly what the fans are seeing. There's no kind of, anything that they're holding back from us, I think, at this point, to a degree, of course, right? Certain injuries, you're still going to get upper body, lower body, stuff like that. But I do appreciate his transparency. So I think we got a little bit of insight into what happened. I don't think we need to know day to day what he did hour to hour in Germany, but obviously he went to go see somebody that he trusts, that I think other athletes as well have seen. There's a lot, going around in terms of rumors about that, but I think that's what that was. And obviously they got to trust the process. It's something that he was dealing with for a while. It sounds like since, preseason, since training camp. So try to get that under control. It wasn't healing the way he would have wanted. It sounded like it wasn't healing at all. So get ahead of it, get better, get back to playing, and hopefully he can put together a pretty good season still. And I think that he will. If he's feeling 100%, I think what we saw so far this season from Auston Matthews is not even close to the level that he can play at.
Yeah, and it seems like his return is inching closer and closer, especially as, again, I think the target date is Wednesday. He was skating today on the ice, so I think there's a world where he can go ahead and get out there for Wednesday's game. And again, they don't play till Wednesday after today, so some more days without games because it's going to be. I mean, I don't know why I was going this tangent. I don't know why they're playing on a Sunday night. They could have easily just played yesterday, a random Sunday night in the middle of football, the Utah game. But that is what it is. We'll still be there for the stream. He also spoke out on his time with the Leafs so far. He said, I had expectations for what it would be, and it's probably surpassed them. There's nothing like it. The passion of the market, the pressure, the expectations, all of it you love. It's a special place. There's an intensity you feel every day, and that's why you're in this business. It's been everything I thought it would be and more. So he just goes ahead and absolutely gasses up the Toronto Maple Leafs organization and the GM spot. And again, you mentioned it. I think he's done a very good job so far. When you're looking back at all the offseason additions he's made up until this point, we're obviously about 22 to 23 games into the season, depending on the team. They all look good. Like Chris Tanev, good signing so far. OEL, good signing. Stolarz, fantastic signing. So he hasn't really struck out on any this offseason, at least yet. Yanni Hakanpää still up for judgment, but he's doing a phenomenal job. And seeing the transparency and the, I guess honesty is a better word for me, compared to Kyle Dubas, where it was always a little bit shaky, is great. And again, with Auston Matthews back practicing with his Leafs teammates today, this is his first time in 21 days that he has practiced with the team, which it feels like only a couple days or a couple weeks ago we were talking about how he was going to be returning any moment on the Tuesday, whatever that was, like 2 or 3 Tuesdays ago. He is going to be coming back in all likelihood on Wednesday, which is a very good sign. But any quick thoughts on this before we get into a bit of a surprising move by Craig Berube here?
Yeah, we know how special of a market Toronto is, and I think you have to embrace it. And I think that's what he's doing. We've seen GMs in the past and other, members of the management or coaches kind of, bash Toronto to a degree, but I think you have to embrace what it is, and I think he's doing that. And honestly, like again, say what you will about him. Yes, he signs older guys, but the Leafs are in a cup window right now, and I think he's made the team significantly better. So again, I think that Treliving has done a pretty good job with this team.
Yeah, and again, we haven't really seen a team with this good of a defensive core, blue line in years, very, very long time. So it's exciting to see. But I want to talk to you about this. You're obviously a big Joseph
Yeah.
Wall stan here. So Joseph Wall is not on the ice for the Leafs optional skate, making him the likely starter. It has been confirmed, sorry, that he is starting. And then Stolarz is going to face his former team in Florida on Wednesday. So I mean, and it makes sense that he's playing against Florida on Wednesday. However, there's a little bit of discourse going on between fans right now about this decision because they've been off for a few days. They've been off a bunch over the past couple weeks. Joseph Wall gets the nod tonight against Utah. What are your thoughts on this one? He's been playing well, coming off of a great start last time, save percentage-wise at least. Do you have any, are you on the side of you make this make sense, or do you think that, they could have started Stolarz here both today and Wednesday?
No, I think this makes total sense. I think, Sheldon Keefe in the past would do things like start certain guys because they're playing their former team or they're playing, like their former team, or, at one point they started a full Swedish lineup starting five, right? So he would do things like that. I feel like Berube may do that to a degree, but I think this is more about Joseph Wall's game. And obviously, because the schedule allows for it, then you can have Anthony Stolarz playing against Florida, which is a nice touch. But I think it says more about Joseph Wall's game the last couple of games. And obviously, the Leafs as a whole played a great game against Vegas, but I thought that Joseph Wall had a fantastic game and played really well. So I think it says more about his game. They want to get him back in there so he's not sitting on the bench after a really good performance. And I think you have the trust in Anthony Stolarz right now. I would still consider him the starter, even though I think Joseph Wall could potentially win that back at some point this year. I think it's still definitely up in the air, but yeah, I think Joseph Wall has more to do with his play last game than anything else, and he'll get it again tonight. And Utah, they're kind of struggling, right? They have a couple injuries as well. The Leafs definitely have a couple injuries. I'm excited to see what both Nylander brothers do tonight, but it should be interesting, and I think Joseph Wall deserved to start.
Yeah, back-to-back starts for him. Stolarz hopefully not too ice cold. It'll be almost a week between games. It will be actually about a week between games
Yeah.
for Anthony Stolarz, maybe a little bit more. So I don't love that, but again, he's used to it. He is a backup goaltender, but I don't. I mean, I'm on the side of I would like to see Stolarz in there, but if he wanted to play against Florida and his former team, it does make some sense. You don't want to get Joseph Wall too cold either. And one final thing before we wrap up, Treliving said that any changes to the Leafs this season are not about trying to take any offense out of the group. He said, "Don't score. We need to establish a foundation of strong defensive play. Prioritize being solid around both nets. You need skill, you need talent, you need to create offense, and we believe that. But you have to be able to check. And if you can't check, you can't score your way out of problems. If it doesn't work out, and our guys are embracing that." So kind of gave some insight into maybe what his plan is regarding players at the deadline whenever he goes to make some trades. And we'll probably have more videos kind of just going over this because there's going to be a lot of trade rumors and trade talks. But any final thoughts before we wrap up? A huge game tonight against the Utah Hockey Club. The Leafs are absolutely rolling right now. They're number one in the Atlantic, and they haven't. I mean, if they win tonight, obviously they stay number one because Florida lost a couple nights ago. They play Florida on Wednesday with a chance to gain some more ground in their division. Things are looking up for this team, I think, right now, and vibes are good. And like you mentioned, Alex Nylander, Nikita Grabenkin, Fraser Minton is going to be, I believe, the line in the third line tonight. So
Yeah, it should be fun. Marley's line on the third line. But yeah, tonight they have an opportunity because Florida lost their last game. They have an opportunity to create some separation going into a game where they play Florida on Wednesday. So you have a really good opportunity here tonight to stay in first, create some separation. And I'm looking to a couple guys to have big games here, right? I'm even looking from the Marlies guys too, because that's something that the Leafs had a big problem with in the past. They couldn't really call anybody up and they would make any difference. So I'm really excited to see what they do, especially Alex Nylander. It's a great opportunity for him. And in terms of, Brad Treliving as well, I think he's done a pretty good job with this team. I don't think, the change in coaching is to hinder their skill or to take their skill away. I think they still want them to play with skill, play fast, but I think there's an aspect of their game that was missing, the way they were playing, a lot of perimeter play that they want to change. And maybe that's, maybe you're right. Like they might acquire somebody that plays that way already instead of somebody with more finesse or something like that. So not sure what they're thinking yet. There's a lot of options out there, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, keep update with it all. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. We'll be going live after tonight's game. Hopefully a win against Utah. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.